For a long time, I was terrified of asking for coffee chats. I thought that not only would I get rejected, but I would become known as some annoying busybody and everyone on LinkedIn would conspire to never ever talk to me. And moreover, why would a successful person waste their precious time talking to me? And that mindset had me paralyzed. And it wasn't until I took this class that I really got pushed outside my comfort zone. The 5x5 assignment forced me to send those first emails, and all it took was one response to get me going. After that, I ended up sending over 300 LinkedIn messages and emails and having 20 coffee chats. The first thing that I learned is that these coffee chats aren't charity work. You know those moments where you're alone and you're pretending like you're on a podcast in your head? Well, every coffee chat lets the other person you are talking to do that IRL. They get to rewind their entire career, explain their life philosophies, talk through their trials and tribulations and triumphs, and basically validate their entire life. I found this out in my very first coffee chat, where I walked 2 miles in Milpitas with a product manager from Siemens. And in those 2 miles, she explained to me her entire journey being born in Vietnam, immigrating to the United States, her first boyfriend, her first house, and her entire career journey. It was kind of like she reminded herself of who she was by explaining it to me. I just kept listening and asking questions when I found something interesting, and it went great. And more or less, that's how most of my other 19 coffee chats went. Here are 5 important things I learned. 1. Sometimes companies just don't have internships or entry-level positions. Before this class, I had my mind set on getting an internship at one of 5 companies that I really liked. But after my coffee chats, I found out that I wasn't being very realistic at all. After talking to 6 people from my number 1 company, Aura, and 3 people from my number 2 company, Tonal, every single person in these companies said some version of, "We don't do interns. You should probably go to big tech first and come back in like 3 years when you have some experience." It turns out that all the companies on my list just don't do internships. And I had to adopt a different strategy and apply to a broader range of companies. 2, some roles don't have internships. Before this class, I was set on finding a product management internship. And they exist. However, after talking to a product manager at SAP, I learned that usually you need to get more experience before a PM role, and that roles like analysts are a much more realistic option to get your foot in the door. 3, you can't move 2 things at once in your career. And let me explain. When switching jobs, people would change their role or their industry, but never both at the same time. You can't jump from finance and entertainment to product management and healthcare right away. But you can go from finance and entertainment to finance and healthcare to product management and healthcare. And I saw that people moved like that over their careers, one step at a time. Even if it took decades, they did this kind of movement to land their dream jobs. 4, the AI layoffs aren't what they seem. Several different senior tech professionals told me the same thing, which is that a lot of companies are laying people off because of money problems, because of the economy, and then they call it AI efficiency so that their investors don't panic. But the 5th and most valuable thing I learned was are everything. The vast majority of people I spoke to got their current role through someone they knew, not applications, and certainly not LinkedIn Easy Apply. In the coffee chat I actually just had this morning, a senior vice president at a big tech company literally said when he got his most recent job, he was max 2 connections away from anyone in the company before he even met them. And that's why I'm still doing these coffee chats even after this assignment ends. As for my next steps, I'm having more conversations with tech companies that actually have internships. And instead of limiting myself to product management roles, I'll offer to join the analytics or the BI side, the ops side, the product side, or even the IT side. A cool thing I experienced through my coffee chats was I talked to a health tech CEO who was Obama's former health tech policy director. And this guy literally wrote the federal policies that I deal with every day at my current health tech job. And that was really cool. To wrap it up, I thought the point was to get my stuff together and then talk to people, to build the perfect resume, to do all the projects, and then reach out. But that was completely backwards. The first step is talking to people to find out what companies actually want. Then you turn yourself into that. I literally found out that the 5 companies I was targeting weren't even hiring interns. 20 coffee chats taught me, don't try to be impressive, stop waiting until you're ready, send that email, send that LinkedIn message, and that's it.